Hey there and welcome to Scandal Steep. Greg Mattisse has been in the public eye for years, but lately, his personal life has taken center stage, particularly after his wife, Reese, filed for divorce a few weeks ago. In a recent conversation with TMZ, Greg admitted that he isn't handling the separation well and is hoping to reconcile with his estranged wife. However, rumors circulating suggest that Greg's distress might be less about losing his wife and more about the absence of a prenuptial agreement, which could leave him financially vulnerable. Linda, on the other hand, seems poised to walk away with a substantial payout, and considering the revelations that have emerged since the divorce filing, it's hard to fault her for wanting to move on with a significant financial cushion. The split between Greg and Linda has been a hot topic, with many speculating that there may be deeper issues at play than initially thought. Their marriage seems solid from the outside, especially given their long history together. After 39 years of marriage, the couple even launched a reality TV show in 2022 called Mathis Family Matters, which presented them as a strong and loving family. Greg often credited his wife and family for his success, stating that his professional accomplishments were built on the foundation of his family's support. He acknowledged that Linda's patience and understanding allowed him to work long hours and achieve the success that many admired. In interviews, Greg spoke fondly of his wife, attributing much of his ability to pursue his career to Linda's unwavering support. He worked 15-hour days, 5 or 6 days a week, and it was Linda who kept their household running smoothly. From an outside perspective, it seemed as though Greg was genuinely appreciative of his wife's efforts. Earlier this year, the couple appeared in good spirits, even attending a brunch together and expressing their desire to prioritize family time over returning for another season of their show. They made it clear that they wouldn't sacrifice their family's well-being for the sake of the show, further reinforcing the public's perception of a loving, united family. Linda herself posted heartwarming messages on social media, celebrating family events like Father's Day, where she praised her husband and their family. Yet, as much as things appeared rosy online, behind closed doors, the situation was deteriorating. When Linda filed for divorce, she cited irreconcilable differences as the reason for the split. After almost 4 decades of marriage, many wondered if such differences could truly be that significant after all this time. However, as more details emerged, it became clear that some wounds were too deep to heal, particularly when one partner wasn't willing to compromise. As soon as news of the divorce broke, speculation began about what Greg might have done to push Linda to this point. It didn't take long for the internet to dig up past incidents that painted Greg in a less than favorable light. For example, in 2019, Greg was involved in an altercation with a valet outside a nightclub in Detroit. The disagreement escalated to the point where Greg allegedly spat on the valet. Although the situation didn't lead to any serious legal repercussions, it certainly raised eyebrows about Greg's temper and behavior in public. Further fueling the negative narrative were claims that Greg had a reputation for being cheap, even going so far as to insist on paying for dinners with coupons and calculating the exact tip to avoid overpaying. These stories, while seemingly minor, contributed to an image of a man who wasn't always considerate of others, even in social situations. Additionally, there were reports that Greg had threatened workers from the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power during a heated argument, allegedly brandishing a chair when asked to move his vehicle. Greg denied these claims, but the accumulation of such stories began to suggest a pattern of troubling behavior. On top of these incidents, there were rumors circulating that Greg's infidelity might have played a role in the divorce. Years ago, Greg had a heated exchange with talk show host Wendy Williams when she confronted him about rumors that he had an affair with a woman who later became pregnant. Greg vehemently denied the allegations and retaliated by airing Wendy's own personal issues. The incident left a lasting impression, with many believing that Greg was hiding something. Recently, speculation has resurfaced that Greg may have been unfaithful to Linda for years and that the divorce could be the result of long-standing marital problems. Some have pointed out that during his show, Greg often appeared overly attentive to attractive female guests, further fueling gossip about his behavior. While no concrete evidence of an affair has come to light, the rumors alone have been enough to cause serious damage to Greg's public image. According to sources close to the family, the separation was less about a scandalous affair and more about Greg's neglect of their relationship. At 64, Greg is still heavily involved in various charitable organizations and runs a production company, which keeps him working 70 to 80 hours a week. Friends of the couple have said that Linda sacrificed much of her own life for Greg, allowing him to pursue his career while she held down the fort at home. Over the years, Linda apparently grew tired of being second to Greg's work, especially after he promised to slow down and spend more time with her in their later years. When it became clear that Greg had no intention of slowing down, Linda decided she had had enough. Despite the turmoil, insiders suggest that Greg still has a chance to reconcile with Linda if he's willing to make changes. They claim that Linda might be open to taking Greg back if he can prioritize their relationship and prove that he values her. Greg himself seems eager to win Linda back, as he admitted in an interview with TMZ. He explained that the breakdown of their marriage was largely due to his constant absence, as he left Linda to manage the household while he pursued his dreams and socialized with friends. The final straw for Linda came when Greg went on a 3-week work trip, despite her protests. Linda filed for separation shortly after this trip, which took place in mid-July. Greg confessed that he had been away for long stretches throughout their marriage, often putting work and fun with friends ahead of his wife. He admitted that he had been neglectful and expressed regret for not making Linda a priority sooner. In his interview, Greg even advised other men not to make the same mistakes he did, cautioning them to never be too busy for their wives or take their relationships for granted. However, as sincere as Greg's remorse may seem, some of his comments during the interview raised eyebrows. When asked about the rumors of infidelity, Greg sidestepped the question, instead bringing up an underage girl who hadn't even been part of the conversation. This odd deflection only served to raise more questions about what might have been going on behind the scenes. At the end of the day, the situation between Greg and Linda appears to be far more complicated than anyone initially realized. While Greg has publicly expressed his desire to reconcile, it remains to be seen whether Linda is willing to give him another chance. As it stands, the couple's separation has opened the door to a flood of speculation and rumors, leaving many to wonder just how deep the issues between them truly run. For now, all we can do is wait and see whether Greg will make the necessary changes to repair his marriage or if Linda will choose to move on for good. As the story continues to unfold, it's clear that Greg Mattisse is facing one of the most challenging periods of his life. Publicly grappling with a potential divorce after nearly 4 decades of marriage, his situation has become a source of gossip and intrigue. Linda's decision to leave after years of putting their relationship second to Greg's demanding career reflects a broader theme of unmet expectations and unbalanced sacrifices. Though Greg seems to genuinely regret his actions and hopes for a reconciliation, it's unclear if Linda is willing to revisit a marriage where she felt undervalued. Moreover, Greg's dodging of the infidelity rumors, coupled with his unexpected mention of unrelated topics, has left many wondering whether there is more to the story than he's letting on. It raises the question of whether his admissions are coming too late to save the marriage. For now, fans of the couple can only speculate on whether Greg's heartfelt admissions will lead to a fresh start or if Linda's departure is permanent, signaling the end of an era for one of Hollywood's longest-lasting couples.